All right, let's get to it. Guys, I cannot believe it. We are already here. Final week of the regular season. Schedules are set. We got Saturday football, we got Sunday football, and then we are in the playoffs. And what we do know is two teams from this division will be in the playoffs. We don't necessarily know the seeding yet. We will talk about that. But we do have two games within the division, starting with the Packers versus the Vikings, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go to you first, Lepidus. Now, you guys are on an absolute heater. We've talked about this. Curious to get your thoughts on it. Actually, let's go to the guys that are not in this game. Then we'll get to you, Lepidus. Nick, we'll start with you on this one. Packers, Vikings, 1 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have winning this game, and what's your score prediction?
Again, Packers are in the playoffs. I think that, and Baz, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you guys can get any higher seeding. Like you're seven. You're seven no matter what. Yeah. I could see the Packers potentially sitting some starters here, just to keep it safe. But also the Vikings are red hot. I mean, 4 games in a row up against. And wait, is it in Green Bay or is it in Minnesota?
It's in Minnesota.
Whoa! All right, that changes everything. All right, Baz, I think that you guys unfortunately are going to sit people, and it's going to be a factor in this game. So I think that the Vikings are going to win this one. It just seems like they want to stay hot, and to me, I feel like every single year when a team ends the last season not making the playoffs but on big streaks, they're really good the following season. I think that the Vikings are showing like a little bit of what they could be next year. So they're going to go out. They're going to want to go to 9-8. They're going to want to finish above 500. And I got the Vikings winning this one. I think it's going to be a 28-21 Vikings win. And the Vikings are hot. No denial about that. They look really good right now. And I'm very happy that they weren't this hot for the whole season, because who knows? It could be a much different story right now. Who would be the king of the North at the moment?
One of the hotter teams in the NFL playing one of the colder teams in the NFL. Dose, talk to me. How do you see this one going down?
Yeah, this one's interesting because if the Packers aren't playing for anything, I wonder what the approach. I mean, Minnesota's so unique defensively that just like, what is the emphasis to deal with that? Or is it kind of just straightforward? Because you're going to get yourself in some bad spots. That's what it is. I think Green Bay will have a much better chance to run the ball, regardless of who's that quarterback for them. They're going to move the ball a little bit. They'll have a little bit more efficiency. And I feel like if Brosmer plays and McCarthy doesn't, like the Packers will have a shot to win this game, because I just don't think they're going to move the ball much at all, to be honest with you. So unless they get that run game rolling a bit, which they definitely could after seeing what Baltimore did, I think Green Bay can still win this one. I don't think it's going to be pretty on either side. I'd go like 17-14, slightly lean towards the Vikings right now. I'll go 17-14 Vikings.
Wow. 2 of you picking the Vikings. Lepidus, I got to imagine you're going to make it 3-0 picking the Vikings here. Talk to me about this game. What are you expecting? Who are you picking? What's the score prediction?
Yeah, and I think the big X factor, big question mark is who's going to be the Vikings quarterback. KOC did say McCarthy has a chance to play. But if it's not him, I mean, would they go to Brett Rippon? Would they put Brosman back out there after what we saw last week? I don't know. Sounds like Brian O'Neill could come back. Sounds like Aaron Jones could go. Jordan Mason might come back. TJ Hockenson might also have a chance to play in this one. But to me, it's up with the defense, right? The defense is on fire. It could be Harrison Smith's last game. They're going to be pumped to make him go out on a high note, to let him go out with a win against the Green Bay Packers. What else would he want? It's one hell of a way to end your career, beating your hated rival at home in front of all your fans. So I think you want to give Harrison Smith a nice send-off. One guy I didn't mention in my game wrap-up I was talking about last week, Will Reichard. We got Will Reichard. He's the best kicker in the NFL. Shows up to the game wearing pajamas, nails 3 50-plus yard field goals. He's going to do that again. 6 Will Reichard field goals. Packers get 10 points. I've already seen reports they're going to rest their starters. Boz, I don't know if that's true on your end, but I've seen them on my end. Hopefully that's the case. But 18-10, Vikings win another boring game, but we're going to be excited about it.
Did you just out Baz? I mean, with the score prediction and how you got there, I like season long with the funny score predictions, and you just might have one-upped him, beat him in his own game, really. Baz, how do you see this one going down? What's your score prediction?
So first, there were early reports of resting starters isn't a confirmation. LaFleur mentioned that everything is still on the table. He's going to say that no matter what. LaFleur doesn't he never tells what he's going to do in a game. Last year, against the Bears, week 18, we didn't need to play any starters. We ended up playing Christian Watson. He tore his ACL. So I slightly lean on the side of not resting due to the aforementioned reasons we talked about with the Ravens game. We need to get a little momentum built up here. In any other sense, if the Packers weren't on this slide, I like resting players here because of two things. One, they can look forward to the Bears or the Eagles, and Matt LaFleur can start to game plan for that and just give the reins to Malik Willis, which is kind of easier to game plan anyways. It's kind of like, hey, dude, we're going to run a vanilla playbook. You're going to go through your first, second read, and if it's not there, you're just going to run around and make plays. So it's kind of easier for Matt LaFleur to go into this week with Malik Willis than it would be to separately game plan against Brian Flores with Jordan Love. We know there's going to be a ton of covers here. They ran at the most they've ever have all year last year against Goff, and that's another point. If they're going to run a ton of covers here, a ton of blitzes, Love's returning from a concussion. All it takes is one unlucky helmet-to-helmet hit or a hit where his head slaps against the ground, and then we're talking about him maybe trying to clear a protocol, which probably wouldn't happen before the first round of the playoffs. So I feel like they rest people. And if we do rest people on defense, Brosmer may actually find success, because if we don't have X and we don't have Evan Williams back there, and Nixon, as bad as he is, if he's out, Bo Melton might be starting at cornerback because Kamal Haddon is out for the year now from last week's game. So we don't have too many players to swap in to rest our starters. But I think they will for some players. I think Jacobs might be resting, probably Watson, just based off of what happened last year and due to him still kind of recovering from that chest injury. Minnesota's defense is on fire. And I think I actually want to see Willis in this, just because I feel like that'd be kind of fun to watch Willis against a Flores defense, see what he could do. And furthermore, show, hey, maybe a team should come calling and sign him to a very big contract, and we get a 3rd round comp pick for it. But the Packers do need momentum, and I'm kind of like on the fence here. But overall, I think they're going to rest some, play some, try to get healthy to go into the playoffs. So we're going with the clean sweep here. We're going Minnesota 24-20. You muted, Jesse.
That might be the first game all year that you picked against the Packers. I'm struggling. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, how could they not
another
go?
one?
What, 17-1? They should have went, like, or 16-1. Come on, man.
Yeah. You gotta pick. You gotta pick against someone. I'm just saying, like,
this is the one against Brosmer.
Okay. yeah. This is it. This is it right here. Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Well, clean sweep. That means the Packers are definitely winning, because we haven't been the best at picking games on this show.
That's what I'm trying to do.
There you go. All right. The other game in division, Lions versus the Bears. This is two teams that are coached by guys that most likely aren't resting anybody. I would be shocked. Maybe I'm wrong. Dan Campbell might throw in the towel. That doesn't seem like his style. And Ben Johnson coming from that team, I highly doubt that he's going to rest anybody. So I'm expecting full versus full here. And, there's nothing really on the line for the Lions, but if they can aid in beating the Bears and maybe stop them from the number 2 seed, I'm sure they would love to end the season on a high note. So 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Lepkus, I'm going to go to you first on this one. How do you see this one going down?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I just don't know how much the Lions have left. I kind of feel like maybe after the deflating loss on Christmas, they're just not really just want to get everything over with. But that being said, Dan Campbell going against Ben Johnson again, he's going to want to beat him. He's going to want to win this game. I can see the Lions get the run game going finally, get that thing back on track here as the season ends. But this Bears team, man, there's something about them. They're special. They're a scrappy group. They fight. They got a lot of weapons. I just think they're going to win this thing. I think it's going to be high scoring, 35-28, boring score, but a high scoring game. Bears take this one.
All right. Baz, how do you see this one going down?
I do want to take Detroit, because then that would mean if the Packers lose to the Vikings, that every team in the North would have a winning record, which is pretty cool. But I think I'm going to go Chicago here. You just don't know what you get with Detroit. Golf just hasn't been good, in my opinion, and enough to win this game, even though Chicago's defense is a little worrisome. Again, like Nick said, it's usually against quarterbacks that can move around, and Golf is not that. So I think they will get some pressure on him. They really haven't had a run game. I think Detroit will find success on the ground more so than they have the past couple of weeks, but they just don't seem that enthused. I know, like you said, Dan Campbell definitely will be and will want to get this win here. But at the end of the day, Chicago's playing for the number 2 seed, and I want them to be the number 2 seed. Like, hey, I mean, who doesn't want Packers Bears first round of the playoffs? So, like, I want that. I'm going Chicago 31-27.
All right. Dose, how do you see this one going down? Can your Lions end the season on a high note? Is it over for them? Talk to me about this one. What's your score prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fired up for it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I wish there was someone on a line knowing that it's Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, but I'm still pumped for this game, because it's like even more so after losing the Vikings game the way that you did. you just want to get it right. Like, because it just feels like over the last month plus, we just haven't had it right. Everything's just been clunky the whole time. A lot of just controllable errors all over the place with penalties, just little things like that. That said, though, this is also an opportunity to see if you have a run game at all, if you have any life of a run game. And for a lot of these guys, it's are you going to be a starter next season, or are we attacking this offseason as we're finding a replacement? And I think a lot of that's going to start up front. And playing the Bears, we ran the ball really well last time we played this team. Feels like the last time we have ran the ball well. We've only done it a few times this year. So I think it's going to be effective. I think Gibbs is going to have a big game, and I think Chicago's going to score like crazy against us because, one, where we're at a corner right now, I don't think we're going to match up as well one-on-one. I think Swift is going to have a pretty good game. He did last time we faced him as well. And I think if that's the case, Goff's going to have a really good game as well. I actually think he's been playing really good up until the Vikings game, and we had some bad mistakes in that one. But that said, I think it's going to be high scoring. I think there's going to be a lot of points. And I think the Lions, they have a chance because they will run the ball well. And it will just be different. It'll all look different for that alone. But it's going to come down to probably what it in some ways came down to, but not really because we were so bad against Vikings. But in some ways, like, okay, do we get a turnover? Because, Kirby got one last time. He kind of flipped it. That was like the difference in the game. I don't know that we're going to get that one. And on the flip side, if we do what we did against the Vikings, then we're going to lose this football game by just a couple of them. Also, do we convert a couple fourth downs? I mean, I got to assume Ben Johnson's going to throw some at us. We beat him by like 30 last time. There's no way that he ain't coming out here going to look crazy. He probably wants to blow us out, and that makes a ton of sense to me. I would too. So for that reason, I think he's going to throw some trick stuff at us. I expect Lions to go for it on every single fourth down possible. I think it's going to be an awesome football game. I'll say Lions win at 42-41.
Oh, God. Could you back-to-back
awesome.
weeks, back-to-back weeks, 80-plus points scored? That would be a fun one for sure. Now, if Chicago were to lose that scenario, I don't know how great I would feel about my defense giving up 40-plus 2 weeks in a row and losing in both cases. Nick, talk to me. How do you see this game going down?
Making sure I was off mute. I think that, Ben Johnson coming out today and saying that they're playing to win, and they know that how big this is, because if the Bears, they can't rely on the Eagles' loss versus the Commanders. They have to do this themselves, which I think the Bears should do anyway. I don't want to rely on anybody else to help out with the seedings. If a Bears win, automatically number 2, they play Green Bay at home. If they lose, there's a ton of scenarios. I think I have them. Okay. If the Bears lose, Philadelphia wins, Seattle wins, and then the Rams win out, we play the Niners, which that would be pretty electric, Jesse. And then I think it's the other way around. Depending on who the matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Niners, that'll be whoever Chicago plays. And then the Rams just have to lose one game in order for them to win, along with a Bears loss and a Philadelphia win. It's just crazy numbers how we would play the Rams. But I think that the Bears would rather play the Packers in week 1. We know the team. We played them twice this year. It'll be at home. It'll be an electric atmosphere. I think it'd be fun for both fan bases too. But Ben Johnson clearly wants to finish with a better seeding, because that also helps you out for the rest of the playoffs. And, the number 3 seed, you could still potentially you have a higher chance of being an away team versus the number 2, obviously. Quick, easy math right there. Ben Johnson's going to go out because we got whooped by the Lions last time in week 2. He's going to want to go out there and show we are a better football team. We can play with anybody. I want to take down my former team for the first time as a head coach of the Chicago Bears. So I think it's going to be a really intense game because Dan Campbell's got nothing to lose. Those guys are going to be hitting hard. They're going to want to send a message. They're going to want to send the Bears into the playoffs, hurt or not hurt, but like banged up, sore, and they don't have obviously the number 1 seed, so they won't be able to rest. This is going to be an intense game. All the tricks are going to be brought out. It's going to be fun. It's a 3:25 game at Soldier Field. And right now, the weather in Chicago, it's back to being cold again versus our weird warmth that we had. I got the Bears, though. You guys know me. I never root against them. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I got the Bears winning this one 35-32.
Get a 100% deposit match of up to $100 when you use promo code RTS and you play Sleeper. Link is pinned to the top of the description. Also, you can get a free $20 play without even making a deposit using promo code RTS as well. Here are the picks for the week. Had to get these in before the Monday Night Football game. So we've got Matthew Stafford going more on the 268.5. We got Kyron Williams going for more on 63.5 rushing yards. Puka Nacua is almost a lock for 107.5. And then Mooney just needs 2 receptions. Just give us 2 damn receptions, Mooney, and we can get the win this week. That's $10 to win $50.60. You can tail us, you can fade us, but either way, use promo code RTS.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.